Hey, it's Peter from Caffeine. I'm back with another short video, and this one is basically about the cups that we use. If you remember, I talked in another video about the E-Myth Revisited, and in that book it talks about having systems and processes and practices in place to make your business run seamlessly. Everything we do should have a reason, okay? 2009 is when we opened. Okay, so back in those days, there was a company called ACF from Italy who were making cups like this. And I just love them, obviously. It works with our branding, black, white, really nice, beautiful cups. Unfortunately, that company went bankrupt after a few years, but now a company called Acme make these cups. They're from New Zealand, okay? So this is obviously an espresso cup. For quite a long time, we would serve our singles and our doubles in this cup as well. But you're looking at maybe 35 grams for a double espresso, so that's quite full. We didn't like that anymore. I'll explain a bit more about that in a moment. So these are now used just for singles. This one here, of course, is your piccolo glass. In Australia, amazing, fantastic Italian heritage. It's one of the reasons why Australia has such a strong coffee culture, okay? Piccolo, Italian for small. So basically that's a small latte, okay? And that's how I grew up with it, and that's how I know it. So of course, when I opened here, piccolos, that's what we put on the menu. Over time, of course, and we're in London, we're in close proximity to Spain. So more and more people, and even some of the larger chains, started pushing the cortado. To me, exactly the same thing, small latte, cortado, piccolo, same thing. I could be wrong, but that's how I do it, and I'm the owner of Caffeine, so that's what I say. We then go on to the 5-ounce cup, the flat white, yeah? 2 shots of espresso, steamed milk, nice and thin, 5-ounce cup, really good, strong flavor, okay? Really very important. And then we go on to the cappuccino. So as I said, 5-ounce cup on this one, 6-ounce cup on that one. So the cappuccino, still double shot of espresso, lovely foamed milk, a little bit more foam to it obviously, a little bit, maybe a centimetre, so you have that there. But also importantly, you have a different ratio of milk to coffee, okay? I'm going to come back to those in just a moment, but first we have the latte. Now, the story that I know about these glasses in particular is in Melbourne a very, very long time ago. A super famous restaurant person said, I'm going to start putting lattes into these type of glasses. These are Duralex glasses. They're from France. And when I wanted to open, I couldn't find them anywhere in London. And I went to an amazing cafe called Lantana, which opened just before me, Australian as well. And Sheila, the owner of that, said, go to this supplier called Parsley in Time, amazing supplier, and you'll find these glasses. So I did. And to me, this is a typical Australian latte. Obviously, I keep going on about this. I'm from Australia. I'm now in the UK. We have lots of Americans coming, okay? In Australia, what we have, or what we call an espresso, is a short black. Pretty obvious, short black coffee. If you add water to it, in Australia, we call it a long black. So I wanted to have both. I wanted to have long blacks and Americanos, and you'll see that on the menu in just a moment. But I need to make sure they were different. So a long black comes in a 5-ounce cup. The Americano comes in a 6-ounce cup. It's only 1 ounce more of water, but the flavor difference is absolutely incredible. And what we do is actually customers come in and go, I'll have an Americano, and we'll say, actually, why don't you try a long black? And they do. And they go, geez, that's incredible. The taste difference between the two is just amazing. And I'm like, yeah, it's like whiskey. Imagine adding more water to your whiskey. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Well, why would you add more water to your coffee? When we first opened though, they only had 8-ounce takeaway cups. So we had to have the ratio difference on the milk. So for flat whites, we used to fill them up to about there, about 6 ounces full. Okay. Eventually, one day, some smart manufacturer decided they were going to open or start making 6-ounce cups for takeaway. So of course we started buying those. So cappuccino, Americanos, lattes, flat whites and long blacks. And then of course the piccolo or cortado or espresso, yeah? Another thing we do here is we make incredible batch brew filter. If you get a batch brew filter, 8-ounce cup, but if you drink it in, it's in this beautiful little carafe. It comes in the cup, sits like that, lovely filter coffee, pour it in, enjoy. A fella called Sean Young, who used to work here, he decided to set up what's called the coffee tasting flight. And in those days, it was 3 drinks. We've now developed that even further. So if you come into store, you can have what's called the coffee tasting flight. It's absolutely amazing. What you do is you get a single shot of espresso, you get a single piccolo, cortado, You get a little bit of our filter coffee, and you get what we do is a palate cleanser. So it's Earl Grey and green tea, cold brew tea that we make. And the idea is you have this as your palate cleanser. We also serve this palate cleanser with all the espressos that we do as well, okay? So you've got to come in and try this. Coffee tasting flight, you have a little bit difference. And the one last thing that we do differently these days is our double espressos are served in the flat white cup to give a little bit of extra space for you to put that air into it and bring the flavors out, okay? That's the cups, that's the reasoning. Come in, enjoy, ask questions. I'll see you later.